going on, you bunch of heathens? Today we have another video that I saw on my recommended, and it had one of those big superstructure things that you used to see all the time, like in like 2016 of like big boats and shit like that. But I will admit the title got me a little interested. So I thought we'd check it out today. It's called Pangeos Terra, an $8 billion engineering disaster. Seemed really fucking interesting, so let's jump straight into it.
Pangeos is an $8 billion, 650-meter wide, 600-meter long Terra yacht, a gigastructure, or I guess Terra structure.
This right here is what the thumbnail was, and that's what kind of drew me into it.
Capable of hosting an entire city. Not long ago, this thing was all over the internet, getting caught up in a full 72-hour hype cycle. But this project, aside from being hilariously stupid on pretty much every level, as we'll see, also represents something quite sinister. So the Pangeos Terra yacht is a yacht/floating city. As long as under city, we mean like 500 people or something. And it's shaped like a turtle. Why? No idea. It's essentially a big floating park surrounded by luxury residences.
Is my guess.
Because that's what you want on a ship. Parks containing hundreds of tons of soil. Also planting trees into your ship's hull, that's an idea worthy of an award. A Darwin Award. The inside of the ship and the flippers, I guess.
That seems really fucking stupid. Also, the whole flipper idea, it could be cool, but it could be an interesting idea. But it also, to me, whenever I see it, I just think, holy shit, that is a fucking maintenance nightmare. And also, it just seems hella expensive. I don't know who the fuck would want to live out here.
Or filled with villas and apartment buildings that look suspiciously like the ones in Surviving Mars. I actually have to commend the Pangeos team. They blessed us with a metric ton of sketches and CGI visualizations, so we can really take a good look at what this project entails. Oh boy. As I was looking at these visualizations, things got weird pretty quickly. Let's start with how they plan on building this thing. Indeed, how will this thing be built? It's quite a conundrum, but don't you worry, the Pangeos team has you covered. We can build it. Imagine to join together the world's biggest yacht firms in an unique project. Wow, look.
You can't even... You put it in English, but you can't even get a proper English translation. And I love this. None of the below brands are now involved yet in the project. Yet again, broken English. But it's, hey, we can get all these brands together to do it. Oh, by the way, none of them are actually in it on it yet. That'd be such a fucking commitment and risk for each brand. I can't see them wanting to do it.
Look at all these companies taking part in the... None of the below brands are now involved yet in the project. Oh, that's unfortunate. On their website, they have these bizarre renders of a dry dock in the middle of the sea? No, that can't be right. We're missing something. Let's see what they have to say about it. The building process. 1. Dredging 1 square kilometer of sea by building a circular dam. 2. Once dry, the terrain will possible to start preparing the basement area?
This has got to be just some dude who's like, oh, I want to do this, but actually has no actual engineering or whatnot background to even try to get this done.
Great, so they actually want to build this thing in the sea, like right in the sea. I thought this render was just some concept art, but apparently no. They seriously want to dredge a square kilometer of sea and then build a circular 3.5 kilometer long dam around it. Then wait
how the fuck would you ever try to do that? How the fuck would you ever get that done?
For the seafloor to dry out and then build the yacht inside the circle they've created in the sea.
Okay, and my question is, okay, so you're going to do that. That's going to cost so much money in general just to do that. How the fuck are you going to fucking get it into the water then? Just slowly fill the bitch up? In that case, once you're done with that, the fuck are you going to do with the dry dock?
At this point, the Pangeos team was likely thinking what country would be willing to even entertain the idea of building this thing near their shores. It's a tough question.
It wouldn't be the US. US would never allow it. China? Or one of those countries, maybe?
They would need a country run by complete morons who, by some miracle, also have more money than God.
I mean, to be fair, I do think the CCP are idiots, but that isn't what I meant when I said that.
Saudi Arabia, alright. Hang on, this is a different thing now. Did we drop the at-sea circular dry dock plan? Apparently so. I love it when multi-billion-dollar mega projects...
Okay, so you changed the plan. You changed the plan real fucking quick, but okay.
Show us contradictory plans on the same webpage. The construction of a similar sizes vessel, comma, involves the realization of a specific shipyard/dam infrastructure that floods levitating the Terrayacht when it will be launched est 2033. Well, that was a sentence. So
how are you gonna say it's estimated to launch in 2033 when you don't have anyone ready to build the damn thing? And also, so basically what you're saying, you want something that'll raise the water level. Honestly, the first thing that came to mind is like the Panama Canal.
So now they want to dig out a 600 by 650 meter dry dock on land and then concrete it? So that would involve a 39 hectare concrete surface. And that would be separated from the sea by a 650 meter long dam.
Dude, that'd be so expensive to do. Like, just think of the expense, but not on top of that. Think about having the fucking, again, maintenance on it. Also, just the curing process of all that fucking concrete. It'd take till 2033 for that bitch to fucking cure.
All this for a single-use dry dock to build one single ship. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that was my question. Is this going to be a single-use dry dock? Because in that case, that's a stupid investment if that's going to be a single-use dry dock. Unless you plan on building maybe more. But even then, you don't even have the fucking anyone on board to build the one.
Yeah, economics? What's that, a new cryptocurrency? Never heard of it. So that's where the Pangeos Terrayacht will be built. Hang on, are those cranes made of Lego? Oh no, they pulled a 3D model of a crane from somewhere, but they didn't realize it was a toy crane. Look, they even have plastic dials on them that you're supposed to turn with your hand to operate the mechanism. Hell
There's
yeah,
no
we want
way
to build
those
this
dipshits
$8 billion
did that.
mega yacht, but we can't quite tell the difference between a real crane and one made of Lego. Oh look, there's a golf cart there, at an active construction zone.
God.
It's from their other renders of the finished yacht, which they forgot to delete here. Also, I love how the scaffolding around the ship isn't connected by any ladders or stairs for the workers to use. Cool. God, there is so much stupid stuff to go over. I almost went crazy collecting them all together. Look at all these damn tabs.
Who actually thought this was a good idea?
Oh, hello, strange Norwegian.
You know, I had my head down. Who the fuck actually thought this was a good idea to try to say, oh no, let's get this done? Like, who?
Men, what's that? There is a browser that can actually manage your tabs properly? That's right, Opera came up with Tabfulness. They have an actually useful way of organizing your tabs and getting more work done. So if you want to open 10 billion tabs in your browser, you can create tab islands for each category to keep things organized.
That's cool.
A true
I don't like having that many tabs open though.
It is.
But I am using Opera.
And let's face it, Opera just looks better. Opera is also doing a contest right now where you, as in you, can apply to live on the world's loneliest island, get it, near Iceland for 7 days, where they will pay you $10,000 for becoming their Tapfulness guru for a week. Use my link to download Opera and to apply to become a Tapfulness guru. Opera is free and it has changed my browsing for the better. Thank you for checking out Opera.
$10K to spend my time alone reading books
for this video.
That's not too
and their
bad.
browser helped me stay organized as I was putting the script together. Go get it now and become tabful just like me, because tabs equal fish. That reminds me, we have an aquatic monstrosity to discuss.
Yes, let's.
So the Pangeos Terrayacht's proposed construction. On the construction site, there are these random boxes lying around, which are apparently cement silos. What, do they want to build the Terrayacht out of concrete? Apparently so.
What?
The roads inside the Terrayacht do seem to be made out of concrete. Yeah, concrete. Famously useful shipbuilding material for a ship that's definitely shaped for moving around on water. It goes without saying, but such a large and heavy...
Did you just see the title for the concrete battleship and assume that it was a real floating battleship? And it wasn't just an island in the Philippines that the US used as a gun island? I think I'm getting that right. I'm pretty sure I did a video on it. I'd have to check, but I don't want to tab out right now. Correct me down below if I'm wrong.
structure would break immediately during the first storm it encounters. Also, they plan on propelling this thing with what appear to be large jet ski engines that have no visible water intake. So this mega project so far has to be the stupidest thing I've ever seen. If our currency was backed up by idiocy, the Pangeos Teriot would cause instant global hyperinflation. Let's look at what they're planning to put on this thing. As I said, it looks like they want to put concrete roads inside their ship on which they would run little golf carts, because literally everything being a 600-meter walk away from you is just too much to handle. And
Of course, they're fucking rich, but why concrete if it's that? Did they look at an aircraft carrier and think that that was concrete? I legitimately want to know what their fucking thought process was for this kind of shit. Like, why? Why? And why golf carts? I mean, yeah, sure, golf carts, that's fine. Like, I'm assuming that this is like people are legitimately living here type shit. But why? If people are living here, they're gonna be rich as all hell, which means that they'd probably just get their shit delivered, if not go out to eat. I don't know.
And apparently, every villa will have its own little golf cart. So, you know, congratulations, you've created floating suburbs. In front of your suburban villas at sea, you'll have these narrow...
I gotta know, is this gonna be the same type of shit? Is this gonna have an HOA?
pools, so you'll have something to fall into at 3 AM on your way back from a party. In these pools, you'll be able to do SUP or stand-up paddle, and also kayak.
How are you supposed to get down across? Do I have to go down to try to find a fucking bridge?
Sounds
annoying.
It will be a ton
I need to
of
go
fun
across the
until
street.
you reach
Hold up,
the
let me
end
go
of the
all the way
pool
down.
after like 4 seconds of pedaling, which is too narrow for turning around. Also, should a larger wave tilt the Tariot to the side a bit, these pools would spill over and flood the ground floor of every villa. You might have noticed that most of these residences and apartments are in the high luxury category. That's because this project is essentially a floating retreat for the ultra-rich, much like how Elon Musk's Mars colony would be just an extraplanetary doomsday bunker for the top 1%. Pangeos even sports a royal palace, if you can believe that. We'll get to that later.
Jeez.
The website promises Pangeos will have...
That was the fucking incentive to have the Saudis fucking allow them to build it.
house 60,000 guests. So that's just the guests, not including staff or the long-term residents of the yacht. Because yes, they actually plan on having people live on this thing. And I'm calling bullshit on that 60,000 figure.
60,000, that's a bullshit figure. Not even just that. People would not actively want to live on this. They wanted to live on the sea, they'd have their own fucking super yacht. They'd have their own and they'd live on that by themselves. This would be like a cool vacation home. People would not actively live there. Fuck, someone would buy it out to make a, what's it called? Airbnb. I can see an expensive Airbnb that someone would buy out, but I highly doubt very many people would actually
This is what a 60,000 guest capacity looks like. That's the MHP Arena in Stuttgart, which, coincidentally, is about as big as the Tariot's main body. So if we assume that on the Pangeos Tariot, they want to put people in hotel rooms instead of shoving them in like sardines, that means instead of 60,000, Pangeos will probably be able to house a couple hundred guests, if that. The current largest cruise ship in the world, the Icon of the Seas, with its length of 364 meters, can accommodate 7,600 at the absolute maximum. And that ship
and it's fucking huge. And that's not actively people living there.
is absolutely jam-packed with little cabins.
The person who wants to do this actually has no idea what the fuck they're talking about. They just had a somewhat cool idea and threw it all together.
On the Pangeos Tariot, you have these big and spacious villas and a handful of cabins on 5 floors.
This cannot be legit. This has got to be fake.
So this thing will not accommodate 60,000, 7,000...
This has got to be a fucking publicity stunt or something like that.
600 or even 1,000 guests. Just a few hundred guests maybe. But those guests won't be nobodies, because apparently dozens will arrive by helicopter parked chaotically on the roof of the Tariot, without any marked helipads. So that's reassuring. If one of them slides down the roof, it will crash right into the villas below. And those trendy little balconies inside the wall will be a lot of fun to be on once a helicopter comes around.
That's a why I believe.
And apparently they plan on landing helicopters inside the ship's structure too, on that tiny building, a meter away from a house. In their promotional video, you can actually see that the helicopter's rotors would clip off part of the house.
Not necessarily, that might just be a perspective thing, but this honestly, this whole fucking thing seems fucking AI generated.
Not to mention, if those windows are open during landing, that whole apartment would be wrecked. Wait, how come there is a landing pad on this building, but not on that one? Wait, there it is! So apparently they just forgot to draw the other helipad for an $8 billion project. Putting 2 helipads in this area
like
is
an outstanding idea,
this meters away from residential villas. The transit concept of the Terra yacht is absolutely bonkers. Helipads in front of your window, helicopters scattered on the roof, drift circuits for golf carts to tumble down, break the window below and then roll into the ocean. Oh, and a Fiat 500, ready for your 10-second commute in the morning. Oh, and do you like swimming, bathing, the feeling of water enveloping your body? On the world's largest cruise ship, the Icon of the Seas,
like I said, this fucking looks AI generated.
You can experience all that in 7 different pools. That's a lot, right? Now try the Pangeos Terra yacht's 150 pools. And those are just the ones I could count on the renders. There might be more on the inside.
Why do you
These
need
pools
that
are
many?
literally everywhere, including in this random, dark corner at the front of the ship. What is this? The punishment zone? The goon deck? The inside of the ship also raises some worrying questions. Apparently, the water in the middle of the ship is not the ocean, but another pool that looks about 50 centimeters deep. If you sail a ship in there, you'll have scratched up the ceiling of the power room, so now your ship is out of power and filling up with water. Also, the crew will go into one of these windowless rectangular pods inside the hull, so that's promising.
Yes, that totally seems like... Why would the crew ever want to live there?
Civilization collapse in a climate catastrophe, rest assured that the hundreds of billionaires inhabiting Pangeos will be just fine, and their ship will have enough capacity to resurrect the transatlantic slave trade in the post-apocalypse. Up to 60,000 accommodations, you say? That can satisfy the demand of a lot of plantations. Because really, who do you think would consider buying property on this thing? Rich people who think the world is coming to an end.
Yeah, rich people, like the top of celebrities, but not even just that. Sorry, I got a notification. Not even just that. Then you'd have the ultra 1.0 the 1% of the 1% buying this shit. But even then, why would they buy this shit when they could invest in other safer fucking?
The sea levels rising isn't a problem as long as you're floating on it. If this project would ever become a reality,
it's also not a fucking problem if you're not on the planet anymore. Which seems more fucking viable than this.
For some reason, it would immediately become a doomsday bunker for the top 1%. Yeah, that explains all those yachts all around, and those helicopters everywhere.
That's another thing. I love seeing a mega yacht that's supposed to, or Terra yacht, I guess. I love seeing this supposed yacht being surrounded by other yachts.
Think you'll be flying in those? Be my guest for $500 per hour in your average 4-seater. No, there would be no regular people on this thing. Nobody below a 7-figure net worth. To recap, so far we have seen a dried up
even then, it'd probably be more like an 8 or even 9-figure net worth.
In the sea, with cranes made of Lego, a massive ship covered by suburban villas, concrete roads, 150 poles, and bearing hundreds of tons of soil for its parks. And they say it will accommodate 60,000 guests beyond the inhabitants and staff. Plus there is a single Fiat 500 on board.
I gotta know, what about fucking food? Food and water would be a big issue with something that big.
At this point, you might be thinking, fuel. There's no goddamn way this can get any dumber.
It'd have to be a fucking nuclear powered.
You just wait. Oh, but what is this? Unreal Estate. Welcome to Pangeos Unreal Estate. The Unreal Estate is a NFT.
No, instantly no. I see NFT, I say fuck you.
Crowdfunding project. By paying in cryptocurrency, it is possible to purchase virtually the selected space. This will generate an initial budget to step into a more sophisticated augmented reality, the Pangeos Metaverse 2023. Selected space, will be available in the virtual scenario as your private room with your own access key. Hell yeah. Apartment VIP, a low resolution shitty render for just 0.2 Ethereum, also known as 400 $461.08. Royal Palace for $2,305. I knew this was a doomsday bunker for the rich.
There ain't no way people actually bought into this shit. I really hope no one actually did.
Oh no, this project is incredible. They have managed to speedrun the bullshit bingo with Mach speed. You got a horrible project for the top 1% with insane specs, completely nonsensical renders that break the laws of physics, hilarious mistakes and contradictions on proud display, and they also peddle NFTs and offer passes to the metaverse. Not gonna lie, it's pretty bold to pull out the NFT card.
Let's see. Folding ideas.
2 years after Dan Olson published his video about NFTs. In summary, this has to be
overall, I never really liked NFTs. I don't like crypto in general. I think it's fucking weird. I don't understand it. NFTs especially. You're buying a fucking picture. It's not even like a physical picture either. It's a digital pic. I don't like it. I think it's stupid.
One of the stupidest, most badly thought out project I've seen in a while. Nothing makes sense about this train wreck whatsoever. And yet, at one point, this thing was all over the internet. Apparently, all you need to get your 3-day fame in the global tech soy cycle is to put out some big fuck-off render that looks vaguely impressive and futuristic if you don't look at it for more than 5 seconds. But I did,
are you surprised?
Unfortunately, and so here we are. Thank you for watching, and don't forget that
No problem.
Opera is out there for you, ready to turn you into a tapfulness guru. If you like my content, please consider becoming a patron or a channel member here on YouTube. And I'll be seeing you next time.
Alrighty. Actually, you know what? I'll sub to you. I like your shit. I think you're good. Make sure you give him some fucking love, guys. He deserves it. Alright, well, like I said, make sure you give him some love. He definitely fucking deserves it. Like and subscribe my shit if you want to keep seeing me. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.